Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me, whether you're joining live or watching a replay, either on Facebook or YouTube. You're very welcome along. My name is Vanessa Baker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm based in, I live in Waiuku, and I have classes here, and I also do classes around Auckland at a couple of different private homes. So there's a full list of my classes on my website, which is confetticardstudio.nz. And welcome along today. This is my regular weekly Facebook Live, and today I'm going to create a one-sheet wonder using the Thankful Garden bundle. The Thankful Garden bundle is also part of a suite called Lovely Garden Suite. Lucky I wrote that down. And at the moment, our suites are having a bit of a sale. So if you decided to purchase a suite, you can then purchase something else from a suite at half price. So if you want any further details on that, it's all on the Stampin' Up! Website, or you can contact me and I can help you. So we'll just flip the camera around. And I've just got here the Lovely Garden Suite just to show you very quickly. This is the Designer Series paper. Lovely, beautiful, bright colours and some black and white prints as well, which are really nice to mix with your colours. So really versatile set of paper. And also in the suite is these sequins, starburst sequins, really fun, funky colours. I love the what's that called? That's gone out of my head. Fresh Freesia on that one there. It's really pretty. I'm just going to double check that I have sound. I have to do this each time. What's that called? Right, good. I'm always in fear of not having sound now. It's happened a few times. Also included in the suite is this beautiful soft velvety ribbon in that same Fresh Freesia colour, and of course the stamp set and coordinating dies. And this particular one has the masks, and I think I have used them on here before recently, but we're going to use them again today. So we're making use of just about the whole suite, which is really cool. Excuse me, I have still getting over a bit of a cold, but we're getting there. Okay, so now this particular one-sheet wonder. So there's a few ways you can do a one-sheet wonder. Sometimes it's you just start with a piece of DSP and you cut it in a certain way. And there are so many templates out there online for different ways to cut your paper and, layer it and things like that, and the different ways you can design your card fronts from that. But another way to do a one-sheet wonder is to stamp it. And previously I've normally done them on the 12 by 12 size. But Kim Fee in the UK did a video where she did her one-sheet wonder on an A4 and created 4 card fronts. And I thought, how fantastic is that? Just to, while you've got everything out, make 4 card fronts all at once. So that's what we're going to do today. Excuse me. And the first thing to do is just to mark out I'm going to draw a line so I know where my 4 card fronts sit. So we want about 14.9 along this. Oops, there's 15, there's 14.9. And then we're just going to join those 2 little, just fine pencil marks. We can rub it out at the end. Very light, just so we have that guide. And then this direction is 10.5. So if you're using a different size cardstock, you're just finding the middle. And then connecting those 2 little marks. I did it with I thought, I don't need to draw a line. I can just do it on my trimmer or my score tool and just have a a score line. But then I realised that my stamp wouldn't go down. Even though I'm cutting it up, I thought my stamp won't go down into that channel left by the scoring. So I thought, let's play it safe and just do the line. Okay. So now basically you just want to start stamping. Now I'm going to do it this way over because my ink pad is smaller than my stamp. So I'll take the stamp to the, I'll take the ink pad to the stamp. Excuse me. Now, and I have got a piece of grid paper here because I'm stamping off the edge a lot, and I was finding I was getting black all over the other side of my paper. In fact, I might even just turn it so that, oh no, I've ended up with a small piece. I'm just going to trade that for a larger piece. I need that length so I don't because the last thing you want to do is go to all this effort of creating something, especially 4 card fronts, and then find you've got black ink up the sides. Kind of wreck it. Right. That's better. Okay. Where did I put the stamp? There. So the idea is that you do want to leave some white space in this particular example. I'm keeping it quite simple and using the card base really in just one layer with some words. So I'm going to put, and you want them to sort of come in from off the edge around the card. So each section will be one card front. And it's also a good idea to get a bit of greenery and a bit of flower on each side. So I've gone across the line there about halfway through. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side, in the other direction. Like that. And then I might just bring in my other flower. So I've got the other flower from the same set. So I haven't really used this much yet, so it's getting an outing. And oh, see, I've already got a black. I think that's off my finger. I have to try and cover it. Oh, look, we can put our flower sort of over it. Up there. Yes. A little black mark there on my finger. But I have been, excuse me, I've been doing other things this morning, so I have got a bit of ink around. Now we're going to put one down here, just so we have a few different things happening. I did toy with the idea of using all hydrangeas, but I kind of liked the interest with having the different flower. Actually, oh yeah, I might put one up here. I've got a bit of room up there. It's just a matter of seeing where you can kind of have, I'm sort of going for 3 elements per square. So I've got a part of a flower there, another part, and then that part. I've got a little leaf stamp that I can fill in some gaps with. But 3, we always work in sort of odd numbers, so 3 is a good number. Now I've already used that one, so I might go back to, I like the hydrangea because it's sort of in that ball shape and it kind of, it's easy to fit in. The other one is a bit longer sort of. So I think we'll just go in there. And so you'll see it's quite quick. I'm doing 4 at once here, 4 card fronts. So it's quite a quick way to do it. And let's go upside down. Right, so I've got 3 elements on each rectangle card front, and then I can go in with my little leaves and add. Now, so when I'm doing this, I'm considering when I cut up the card fronts, I can use them whole and cover the whole. So this would be the size of the card front, so you wouldn't see anything around it. Or you can cut them down and mount them on a colour, or just mount them straight onto white, and have different layers. So I wanted to show a couple of different ways. So I'm just considering where I put my leaves. When I cut through here, I might then end up cutting a bit more off. So I'm going to put my leaf. Actually, I might leave that space and put my leaf. No, I'm going to put my leaf there. I'm going to put it there. I'll just come in a bit from the edge. And perhaps we'll put one over here. And just to fill up little gaps. It doesn't matter if the leaf gets cut off, of course, but it's nice to use as much as possible. Okay, so that's pretty much the stamping done. Now with the masks, I have also cased somebody else. I think it was Stacey Marsh, and so normally, you've got 1, 2, 3 for the flowers. One sort of fills in behind the flowers and gives that bit of colour coming through at the back, and I can show you that. I've got one here from an earlier project. You'll see that it's got I think it was Pool Party in the back there. But Stacey did hers without using that one, and I really liked the effect. So we're going to work with that today. So I'm going straight in. Actually, I'll come back to that. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. Kim had a really good tip for lining up your little divot on the masks. So each time we move it, we have to then line it up again. And the one with the flowers is a little bit harder to align. So what Kim did is she started with the leaves and aligned the leaves and did her leaves. And then whenever she had to line up the front, she would put the leaf one on just to see the direction of that little divot. And then that would guide her for putting the floral one on the top. What I did is I actually just drew in pencil that little divot when I had the leaf one in place. And it doesn't work everywhere. Sometimes you'll be off the paper, and I'm not going to be that particular, but it does just help with aligning it for later on. Okay, oops. My ink pad's a little bit stiff. There we go. You do want to make sure you have it straight. I had it slightly twisted and it wouldn't close, wouldn't slide. Okay, so this colour is Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to use it both for the background and for the detail of these leaves. So I probably got a bit much on my brush, actually. I'm just going to get rid of a bit there. So I want the first layer to be fairly light. So I'm just going around in circles like we've done before, just for a light little green touch there. And then I can do this next one down here. It's sort of in the same direction. And I'll mark that. Just want to make sure it's in the right place, and then we'll mark our little thing there for later. And I don't know, am I actually on camera? I've got this one here down in the corner. And I'll mark that one as well. Okay, and then we're upside down for this one in the middle. Having some strange weather at the moment. It was so cold yesterday, crazy cold. We had the heat on all day, jumpers, socks. I had my slippers on and had to go and put socks as well. It was freezing. And then today it's actually quite warm. It's still kind of, the wind's just getting up here at the moment, but we've had a little bit of rain. Okay, I could mark this one, but I might move the page, so we'll just take that one with a grain of salt. So if this shifts against the grid paper, it won't line up. Right, and then we've got the leaves on the other flower, also in Granny Apple Green. And this flower is a bit easier to align, to be fair. Oops, put that there. I want to make sure there was a little bit there. It looked like the petal was going to be coloured green if I left it where it was. Just a matter of getting it in the right place. And then you can just hold it with one hand while you blend with the other. But yeah, I'm keeping it quite light. Okay, and looks like just got some up here in the corner. So it's going to go that way, I think. It's hard to align upside down. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so in this case I'm going to turn the whole thing upside down and then go round. Oh, I think my leaves are kind of on the side. I might need to look at the stamp. Excuse me. Okay. All right, so that's the big leaf goes up at the side, the big flower. So these are the leaves here on the side. They don't need, you just need to line up. It was a tricky one. But you see, it's much easier to line up the leaves than the flowers sometimes. Okay, now while we're on leaves, I'll just spin that back around. Excuse me. Kim had a great suggestion for the little stamp. And now I've just lost my, here it is. She stamped it, because there is a die to cut it out, but as you know, when we cut our dies, it goes to the outside of the line that you've stamped. So that would mean that if I die cut it and then put it round, I would have green on the outside of the leaves. So Kim did one stamp of the leaf stamp, and then used a craft knife to just cut out the middle, and then you can lay it over your stamped image like so, and colour that one that doesn't have a mask. And another way to do it, which I experimented with, is using masking paper. So this one is exactly the same thing, but instead of using cardstock, I've used masking paper. I think this gets a little bit closer. It's thinner, of course, than cardstock, so you get a little bit closer to the paper, if you know what I mean. But I am quite close to the edge here, so I'm concerned and being careful not to go over. Oops, and it can tear because it's quite thin in between. So the one with the cardstock is a bit probably easier because it's not as delicate as the masking paper one. I tried leaving the backing of the masking paper on, but as I was cutting, it was coming away, so that didn't quite work out. And so next time I would make this further, I wouldn't cut it so close, so I had a bit more. See, I can't really get into my full swing because it's so close to the edge. But it is colouring, and that's what we want. So one more. Oops. Off the edge there, sorry about that. Actually, I could put that one up against there. Just couldn't get the pressure. Okay. They're quite light anyway. Oops, now it's breaking my mask. So yeah, that's not going to last very long, whereas that one would last for ages. So either way, good tip from Kim, I thought. Right, so we're still with the green. We've now got to go back around with the other mask. This won't take long. So this is actually number 5. So I'm doing things a little bit out of order. But this is to go over now and give the detail to the one we just did the background of. So now I probably want a bit more ink, and I'm going to press a bit harder because I want these to sort of bring the leaves to life, really. Like that. Beautiful. I love colouring like this. It's so easy, and yet it looks so professional when it's done. You're like, oh, how did they do that? So artistic. Us crafters have got to have our little secrets, don't we? Okay, 1, 2, and then there's one round here. Just make sure the stem is, there's a gap there to colour the stem, so it was slightly over the black line, so I just had to move that. Things to look out for. That's that one, and then we've got our leaves from the other flowers. Same sort of thing. Just going in that darker pressure, more pressure, but more ink. Trying to stay in camera for you as well. Okay, and then we've got the whole one here. These are really quite easy to line up. I love Granny Apple Green. It's so vibrant. It's going to look great with the other colours I've got. I've got Bubble Bath and Melon Mambo. Kim did hers really neutral colours. She had a green. I can't remember what green she used. and she actually used Sahara sand as her flower colour. And they were very soft, lovely. But I wanted something a bit different. Don't want to totally copy. So we're now moving into the flower part. So like I said, I'm missing out mask number 1 and going straight for mask number 2 with my lighter colour. So this is our, in this case, bubble bath. Just get some bubble bath ink, and I want this quite light. So let's find one of our little divots here. It's not exact, but it gets you in the ballpark, which is the main thing. So you're not flipping the mask around trying to figure out where you're going for. So I want this very light. I'm just going to light pressure. And you can pick it up and just see, oh, it's probably a little bit too light. Do want to see it. Yep, that's pretty good. And then there's my next one. Just move your fingers out the way so you can get into each of these little petals. And then you're sort of aiming for about the same intensity if possible. Not always possible. Sometimes we get carried away, and also the more you do it, the more ink you get on the brush, and then it's sort of harder to keep it soft. Okay, then that one looks like its little thing is over there. That reminds me, I probably haven't taken my tablet. I went to the chemist to try and get rid of this jolly cold, and they gave me antihistamines, they said, to clear up the nose. So hopefully it has kind of been working, but I don't know how many of the jolly things I have to take, how many days. I guess I just keep going until it's gone. Okay, that's all of those flowers. So now let's move into our larger flowers. So this is where our other mask can come in handy. If I grab, I'll grab the outline one because the other one's got lots of ink around it. So we'll put the outline back on where our leaves are here. And you'll see, well, you probably can't see because it's off the camera, but if I hold it up, my divot's way down here. So I just want to get this in about the same position and take the leaf one away. And I'm kind of, you know, already in the ballpark for where I need to be. Okay, that looks about right. Okay. And also you can tell with this one is a bit easier because you've got a large flower and a smaller flower. That can make it easier to line up as well. So these flowers are kind of white with a little touch of pink. And then we're going to add some more, a darker pink as well. Peek under there. Okay, they'll all look good. About the same coloration on each one. So then finally we've got our really detailed sort of centre of the flowers. And for that we're going to use Melon Mambo, which is quite a bright pink. So let's start with one with the little divot thing so we can get it in the right place. Like it goes. Oh, so there, I just noticed that edge one was, I thought I had it, but this was off the edge here. So just double check yourself, even though you think it's, you've just got to sort of look all the way around and just make sure everything is aligned. Okay. Now, I've actually gone lighter than I did on my little test one. So I'm going to try and go even lighter with the melon, because this is quite a vibrant pink. If I just do that, not quite enough. I think it needs a little bit more. I want it to pop, but stay soft. That's quite nice. Quite like that. Yeah, beautiful. So I have actually gone much lighter than my little practice one. And that's the thing with things like this. Every time you do it, it might come out differently. So it really does depend how much ink you've got on the brush and how firm you press. Go around this way. But yeah, I'm getting most of it off each time I ink it. Oh, a bit dark there. Yeah, that one has to come out a bit darker, but that's all right. It's not too bad. All right, I might just go with what I've got and not add any more at this point. Yep. Oh, no, that's even darker. See how it just gets darker and darker the more you do? Okay. So I'm down here and I can't figure straight away which direction I want to go. So I'll bring in my mask and my divots over here. So we're going to go this way. There, I think. Again, I'm not going to add any more ink. Cool. And then we've got to do these flowers. So, same thing. Let's find out the direction over that way. So it goes, this is a bit harder to line up. So it goes sort of I need to draw it, I think. Just draw that little doodah there. Because with this one, because they are quite bright colours, this last colour is quite bright. If I do get it off the flower, off the petal, or, you know, down onto the leaf, then it's really going to sort of show up. So I do want to make sure I've got it properly aligned. Yep, I think that colour's about right. Can we do it? based on that one. So there's something in that leaf. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Once you've done one, I sort of lined up where the pieces were, and I could see through that I had it in the right place. So I just didn't put any more ink, but I just pressed a little bit harder that time. Now on our big flower, I can't quite tell. So I have to use the leaves as a guide again. There we go. Needs to go up a bit. There we are. And again, I'm not putting any more ink on. Just pressing a bit firmer to give our nice soft pink. Fabulous. So that is the One Sheet Wonder created. Now we're going to cut it up. And I'm going to rub out all of my pencil while I can see it. And there was, I can also do the middle now because I'm about to cut it on my trimmer. So now comes the fun bit when you have to decide how to, once we've cut it, how to do each card. Now, where's my trimmer gone? Lost it. Oh, there it is on my chair. Everything is a surface and it gets covered in this place. It's flat, you put stuff on it, right? That's how it works in a craft room. Okay, so I'm going 14.9, which is sort of half of my A4. And then I'm going 10.5. So we'll just start off with them in exact quarters. And that is my 4 card bases. Let me see if I can put it how it was. Like that. Super cool. How easy is that? I wouldn't mind doing a photo of that. I wonder if I can while I'm here for the instructions. Oh, that looks too complicated. I think I'll leave it. Okay. Right, so now we have to decide what we're going to do. So I've got a white card base, so you can just put it straight on to a white card base without trimming it down and add some words. And I have got some, so like thankful for you friend would fit in there really well, and that can be your card. You could also trim it down and put it on a melon mambo card base and do the same thing with your words. And then I also have some words I've gone ahead and already cut, stamped and fussy cut. So there's with love, and then there's a little stamp that says and thanks. So that's another way of doing the greeting. Excuse me. And then there's a third way, which is doing white base with a mambo layer and then cutting it down. So you've got both showing. You've got your white base and your melon mambo, and then your card front. But like every time you cut it, you're going to cut away more of your flowers. So do have to kind of keep that in mind. This particular one, I probably wouldn't cut down too much because I'm going to lose, well, I could cut from a different corner and keep that corner as it is, but I'm still, these are all just coming in off the side. So I feel that I want to keep as much of that detail as possible, whereas this one is a bit more busy and I've got a bit more sort of into the center of it, whereas this has got a lot of white space. This has got less white space, so I might be inclined to actually cut this one a bit more, crop it in. Same with this one, that could be cropped in, and even that one. So yeah, just different ways to do it. So let's do this one, that one I was just talking about first. So I'm going to cut it down to my normal card size. So I'll just trim that off there, and now I'm just deciding which way I do it here. So it's currently 10.5. I've got to chop off. I might do half on each side. I know that sounds crazy, but I just want to try and keep as much as I can. I chopped it all off here. It would look funny just having a little tiny piece of that. Okay. So I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to put that straight onto a white base. And you can use dimensionals if you want to. I'm just going to keep these fairly... I do dimensionals. Maybe I will. I was planning to keep them fairly simple because you kind of... There's been a bit of effort, to get to this point, and I feel that, you probably... the idea behind it was kind of quick and simple. So that was my idea of sticking them straight down rather than using dimensionals. So I do really like that. Oh, I wonder if I could use that. We haven't used, I used Melon Mambo and Bubble Bath, but it's looking very much like Fresh Freesia, and I think I could use some of that ribbon. It tones in really well. So if I just went sort of like that. And I'll use, I might just put it onto the label. So if I put some tear and tape on here, and then I'm just going to wind it through and twist that over so that we see the fluffy side. Oh, is it going to come out the other side? No. Just move it slightly. I might go on more of an angle. By going so shallow, it was taking up more ribbon than what I'd allowed for. Okay, just sort of like that. Now I've ended up with lots out there and a funny bit at this end. Back that way, I'll trim that off. Okay, so I'll just get some different scissors that are a little bit more... Those paper snips are great, but not so good on ribbon. So I'm going to angle it so it doesn't fray. Not that I think it would actually fray because it's on a backing kind of. Right, and then we'll put dimensionals. Back to my craft snips. seem to have misplaced all of my mini dimensionals. I have to go hunting for them. But cutting these in half works just as well. Just putting it around, in and around the ribbon. I don't want, because I've peeled that backing off back there, I don't want that to then stick to my card. I want it to stay up on my dimensionals, that's why I've gone overboard. I should really colour them. I always see these flash people that colour the backings so you can see when you've got them all off. I always think, oh, that's a great idea, I should do that, and I never do. Okay, so we're going to just pop that on there like so, and then attach it to our card. So went off the edge there, got my finger. Oh, I really like how soft this is. I'll show you after the ones that I had done previously. And if you wanted to have your card slightly different, you could start off, cut or do some colouring. You can even do different colours all on the one sheet if you wanted to, with you, because it's just the flowers. So you could have some blue, some pink, some purple. But you could also do some darker if you wanted to. So that's one card, almost finished. Now, I did think, since this is almost, we've used the freesia ribbon, and this is very freesia-y, we should use these that come in the sweet Starburst sequins. So there's two sizes in freesia, and we could also use the white if we wanted to. Oh, excuse me. Just clear that out of the way. Right. So let's put oh yeah, these are really pretty. I'm thinking I might put one there. And I like my triangles, so we'll go one up here. Could I use a white, do you think? Instead of using all freesia. It's quite white. I think I'll stick with freesia for this one. So I'll do another big one. They're really cute. They're like a, I don't know if you can see that. It's like a starburst, like a on the center, sort of like it's embossed into the sequin. Right, okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Yay, okay, one card done. So for the next one, we might do one where we cut it down a bit more. So we could probably do that on, say, this one, although we're off the edge there. Oh, we can cut it all off one side. So let's cut it down just on this side. And from the bottom, it'll cut off a bit of the leaves. If we went that way, that will cut through that flower. Okay, I'm going to do my half and half thing again. So we'll take some off that side, and we'll take some off this side. So I've actually only cut that down to 10 by 14.4, my normal size. So what I might do is put that one on a melon. melon card. And although I really like it's just so sweet. I feel like keeping them all white now. It is just such a sweet look, isn't it? I think I'll do that. And so, yeah, I'm going to keep them white. Okay. Excuse me. I do have my with those words I had already pre-done before. Here we go. With love. Oh, just with love looks nice in there, doesn't it? Don't know if it needs and thanks. Although you could sort of stamp it off to the side. And do we need to use that pretty ribbon again? Just sort of like, it's going to be harder with a small sentiment like that to then place my dimensionals. So, yeah, I'm actually going to bring that down. Nestle it in there with love. No, I think about there. Okay, oh, I found some small dimensionals. That's exciting. Now I managed to lose things. They're right there on my desk, but you know. Perhaps I do need the and thanks. I put the with love there. Oops. I think I'd use that more rather than just saying with love. I think love and thanks is more of a thank you, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to take that off there and line it up on my grid so that I can kind of eyeball where I think it's straight. Not bad, not bad. And then I can put my with love just above that. Nice. And I'm not going to put ribbon on this one. Looks like I've had someone just join in. This looks like fun. It is fun, believe me. If you didn't see it at the beginning, I've stamped this as a one-sheet wonder off an A4 piece of white cardstock. Okay, and shall we put our little, I think we could go back with our starbursts, couldn't we? These are going to be my new fave, I can tell. Do one there, or quite large. Over there. Just thinking about the placement. Maybe down here, and then I put smaller ones up here. Don't want them quite in a row. It's nice to have one higher than the other. Something like that. Yeah, pretty happy with that. I love where this is heading. Okay, another white card base. So what should we do this time? I'm thinking these would make a lovely set as a gift. You could even make a little box to put them in or something. So I could make the cards this week and make the box next week. How about that? So with that in mind, I'm going to keep the same theme and just cut it down to my normal size. And the other thing to look for is if there's something you want to get rid of. So if I had something a bit weird, like it does sort of start the next petal there, and there's a bit of weirdness here with that leaf. So I wonder about just chopping a smidge, scientific term, like even just 1 millimeter off that side. And now 1 millimeter is quite hard to cut off. So I would start in the middle. And see how that bent up? So now I've got to start. If I just brought that down, it's going to rip. So I'll go back up, and now it's laid flatter. So I'll just carry on down. I got rid of that 1 millimeter. And it's just made that flower just look cut off better. Still cut off, but just in a better place. And now it's going to be weird on my leaf, I've just realised. Here, I'm going to end up with, if I cut there, that little bit's going to be floating. Oh well, too bad. See how it's sort of disconnected now? Anyway, it is what it is. So then, I could cut that off now. If I cut this side, I'll get rid of most of it. Just got a little tiny bit, which I can live with. Okay, and while we're here with the trimmer, I might just do the other one, and then we're all set. So again, I need to look at that little gap and try and retain that. So I might just chop like 1 millimeter again. So I've kept it attached this time, and then I'll take the rest off the other end, which is fine. And then the height. So I've got things off the edge, and if I cut through there, I'm going to detach that whole stem, and then I'll have a floating leaf. So again, I need to think about just doing a sliver down there. And the rest there. Okay, so we're all cut. And that will go on there. Beautiful. And the other thing to consider is doing some of the cards in the other direction. So we're kind of working in landscape at the moment. But some things might work well in portrait. But I think that one I'm going to leave in landscape. And I think as a set, it's nice to have them all going the same way. And then when they're all in the box, they'll all go the same way. So I'm going to stick with that. How are we going for time? Oh, it doesn't tell me. How rude. It should tell me how long I've been on for. Okay, now I've got... Oh, and I did die cut these leaves, thinking if there was one that perhaps didn't have much greenery on it, you could tuck a leaf as an extra little embellishment. But these have got quite a bit of greenery, so I think I'll leave that. And I'm just using the sentiments that come with the stamp set. So we've got the with love and thanks, we've got thankful for you, friend, and you make a difference. I haven't used you make a difference yet. The others are probably easier. Or I could switch. I've just got a new set. Where have I put it? I was using it before. Here it is. This is Unbounded Love. And there's quite a lot of nice words in here. You've got some you could use at Christmas time. Peace. You are love, may all your wishes come true. That's a lovely thing to say. Or the sympathy. This could actually be a sympathy, couldn't it? Maybe I do that. Well, my heart goes out to you. Oh, I love that. Okay, maybe that one. So, this is a photopolymer set. I should be able to flip it over and see. To you and yours, that's a good one as well at Christmas time. You are loved. Little one. I think it's got little one, so you could do a baby card. Never give up. Right, my heart goes out to you. So I think I'll do that like I did the with love. So I'm going to stamp it. And I'm just going to condition my stamp. So when you get a new stamp, sometimes it doesn't stamp all that great. There can be a coating left on it. So I always just grab a light coloured ink like crumb cake or a grey or something and just stamp it a couple of times and then give it a wash with the chamois and then stamp it again just a few times. Give it a wash just to sort of get rid of that any coating that's left on from the manufacturing process. And I have a little piece of white here because I'm going to be using black, and it can be tricky to get black to stamp really black, you know what I mean. I'm just going to test it. See, it's a little bit, I don't know if you can see that, it's a little bit light just around the T on that stamp. Just leave it for a bit longer. That's a bit better. Still not very dark though. I have put lots of ink on this pad. But since our cards are quite soft, I'm not too worried about that. So let's just go ahead. Doesn't need to be black, black, black. Oh, that's pretty good. And with black, I do just see, I tried not to touch it just then or go like that until it's sort of had a minute or two just to dry. Because you can smudge it. So with fussy cutting words, I'm just going around. I'm using my left hand to turn the words. And I'm not going to go all the way down into that area there. I'm just going to sort of roughly follow across the word heart. And you'll see it's easiest to turn a corner while your scissors remain still. And you just turn the card with the left hand. Unless you're left-handed, and then you do it the other way around. I like it when there's a blend of straight across and ones with tails. It looks really good. Cut out like this. And yeah, I think the trick is not to sort of go too deep, like into that cross of the T into the base. I would just leave that white, not cut it out. And then when you get to a tricky bit like this at the end, I just cut straight, and then I just come back and neaten that little corner. Okay, so now which one are we going to put that on? It kind of looks nice in there, I think. Yeah, it's kind of a nice sized place for it. So what happened to those small dimensionals? Here we go. You could use so this has got small little words as well. So we've used my heart goes out to you. So you could put friend with that. See? Or feel better soon. Or never gives up. That doesn't quite work. But yeah, I wonder if I should put my heart goes out to you friend and do the friend like I did the thanks on that one. I just feel like it's a little bit lonely in there. So let's just pick up the word friend. And again, we'll have to just see how it's stamping. It's pretty good, actually. Do it a couple of times. I don't know why I choose a light ink. It could be any ink. And then I always test it again with the black on my... Oh. Is it just me or is it going up and down? Oh no, that's better. It was just me. Okay, that's stamping quite well. So let's put the word friend about there. I've already stuck this on my card, of course, so don't want any boo-boos. Yeah, happy about that. And let's stick with our dots, our starburst sequins. And we want to draw attention to the words, so maybe there. And keep it fairly close actually and go there and there. Yeah. Oh, this is so exciting. Okay. And I've got an idea for next week's video, because that's always hard, coming up with what to do each week. And now that I've moved to Wednesday, I feel like I've got less time. I used to use Wednesday as my planning, going live on a Thursday. Okay, well, what should we do for our last one? I've got 2 people watching, so what are your thoughts? Should we do this label? And what words shall we do? I could do sympathy. That would probably fit on there with sympathy. So we've got with love and thanks. Sort of got 2 thank yous, and then already got one. My heart goes out to you, friend. So perhaps a sympathy kind of ties that all together. Or best of luck. You are loved. That's really pretty. Hello is always good, because that can sort of be for anything. But I really want it to go on the label, so I feel like it needs to be a bit larger. I think the happy birthday here would be too large. I've actually got it out for something else, but yeah, it looks like it might fit. Okay. Oh, may all your wishes come true. That's really sweet. That's sort of, you could say that for a birthday. You always make a wish, don't you, on your birthday? Right, we'll do that one. Executive decision made by me. Grab my good old crumb cake again. Yeah, I bought this Unbounded Love set for all the words because I just found that a lot of the sets I've been buying didn't have words or didn't have words that I would use so much. So I thought I needed a set with a few more options. And of course I take them to class because I never quite know what people are going to want. So I normally have extra sets with extra words in them. So this makes a really good one to bring. Oh, I'll test it on there first. Yep, that's all good. May all your wishes come true. Oh, let's do our ribbon again. Since we've got a label, we'll do the same as before. I've lost the tape. There it is. Try and use a smaller piece of tape, although actually I could rip it in half. Oh, that wind is getting whistly. I don't know if you can hear that whistling past. More gusty. The day goes on. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. We'll go there, fold it over, and then come back, do our other bit of tape. And then dimensionals. Now I've got those little ones this time, which will make things a bit quicker. Feels like a long video, but like I say, I don't know how long I've been going. But we have made 4 cards, remember? So normally it's around half an hour, 40 minutes for one card. So this is like a bonus. And I've got this little edge piece I'll just put there because I feel like, oh, actually, I'll put it on because I don't want that sticky there to stick to my card. Right. Take all the backings. So thank you for sticking with me. My long video. Right, may all your wishes come true. And I want the ribbon to sort of take up that space with the white is. And I want it to be straight. Why do I feel like that's up on edge? That ribbon to lay flat. That's better. Excellent. And our starburst sequins. Excuse me. Now, where are we up to here? Actually, about the same as I did on that one. So we've got a big one down here, although I don't have room on that side. I do have some smudgy bits that'd be nice to cover, but I feel like that's too far away. So I might do my 2 down here and 1 up here. So say there, and then do 2 together down here. So you're drawing the eye to the words. Perfect. Oh, I'm really happy about those. I love how they've come out. So just to show you the comparison, the ones that I had played with, I just did like half a sheet just to make sure it would all work out and come up with the ideas for the words. And this was the same colours. Now just look at the difference and how vibrant those red, the melon mambo is on those. So that's what I mean about, you know, you can do them really soft like this, or you can up it and up the ante and do them really bright. That's the difference. So lots and lots of options. We discussed different ways of mounting them and cutting them. You can even cut them into smaller pieces if you wanted to. There's lots and lots of different ways you can do them. But like I say, I think I'll come back next week with a little box and we'll decorate the box in a similar manner and have it as a gift to give to a friend, which would make a really lovely gift. Oh, thank you. Just over an hour. Awesome. Well, that's everything I've got for today. So join me again next week. And in the meantime, please subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can find all of my previous videos are all saved there at Confetti Card Studio on YouTube. And I'll see you again next week. Thanks.